going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Lone Wolf Podcast. I'm your host, Wolfson, and today's episode, it's gonna be one of those special episodes that we're not gonna talk about stuff that's related to the music industry or stuff like that. This episode is more of a morale episode type. I don't know if there's a correct name for it or a term about it. Guys can correct me and whatnot, but it's one of those episodes that needs to be discussed because, this is the Lone Wolf Podcast and we need to discuss these sort of things because even so, these type of episodes must be heard, not just from me, but from others as well, to talk about their experience of when it comes to, for example, being the lone person, having none of your family or friends around, mental health, what it is to be out by yourself, stuff like that, like I can't explain myself to it. So we're not going to have an intro about it. We're just going to go ahead and deep dive and talk about this sort of stuff. So we're just going to go straight for it, unedited. This is me, Wolfson, talk about this sort of stuff. So here we go. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody who's been, following me at my YouTube channel and all my other platforms at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Especially the people that are listening to me at SoundCloud and YouTube, mostly on SoundCloud because, well, that's my homepage. I want to thank you guys for listening, and of course everybody. And I have to also say I have to apologize for everybody. This week's episode is not gonna be recorded through camera due to some difficulties I've been seeing, technical difficulties I've been dealing with the camera itself. I need to reset the settings. I don't know what happened, but unfortunately we won't be able to see the episode, but yes, it will be on YouTube regardless. I'll just put the same background over and over. It may be a little bit annoying, but it is a full audio episode regardless. I will not stop giving you guys weekly episodes. If one day I stop, it's because of unforeseen circumstances that it just happened or whatnot. But other than that, I will not stop doing this. This is something that I do expressly enjoy very much, and I love doing it. And I've been very vocal about it. I've been very vocal about it with my guests, with my previous episodes. Just today, I felt like a sort of relief because I openly said it before in many episodes with my guest, but I have said it, like numerous times, like podcasting has made me the most happiest I've ever been related to music or entertainment in general. I've never been so active, vocal, and happy overall when it comes to podcasting. In fact, every time I do something on podcasting, I learn something new, and I keep getting to learn new and more stuff. And I'm all in. Just like how I felt when I was starting out making music. But the difference is that lately the making music hasn't made me or fulfilled me like podcasting has. It is unfortunate because, I started my career as a DJ, and they told me it's like if you want to play in festivals and whatnot, those EDM shows, then, you don't need to start making music. And I never knew it was such a gatekeeping for me that shit. I've never done music theory in my whole damn life, and I need to learn, which is fine. There's nothing wrong about learning something new. But, it's that connotation like, damn, this is what it takes to be there, which I have no problem of doing it, and I did do it. It's just for a time, it felt more of a job, and it got me more and more pressure because I was in a shitty job before the job that I have right now, which I'm extremely happy. I was in a shitty job working at the Clevelander in South Beach. I worked 4 times a week, but those 4 times a week makes up 40 hours of work because literally, I did 12-hour shifts from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. Come home, take a shower, go to sleep. That was basically my life for 3 years before I got the job that I have. And at the same time, I was trying to break in, try to be, one of the best dubstep players in South Florida. It was hard, it was competitive, but I feel like it was at those times that I felt making music was such a heartache for me because it was just too much. I had too much pressure on myself. I'm putting myself too much pressure on it. And maybe that's why my music haven't taken off as it should. I don't know. It's one of those things I feel like maybe this is the reason why it wasn't as big as it should. I guess, this is one of those reflection episodes that, you look back and see what's up and, see what's going on. And I'm open about it. I'm happy. Like, I'm okay the fact that I'm not a great music producer. I'm a good music producer. Okay, that's fine. Maybe one day I'll be achieved to get that greatness one day for a time period. Maybe I will release music. Maybe not now, but hopefully soon. And if I do release music, it'll be music that I'm proud of even more. And I'll be happy about it, Because that was one of the problems I was dealing with. I wasn't happy overall with the music that we're releasing because I thought that, you need, in order to break it or to make it, you need to have these straight bangers, and that's how it goes. One of my homies, Chris Rose, shout out to you from Big and Slim, said, music needs to have a soul. Your songs need to have a soul in it. If it doesn't have a soul, then, it's just a song and you won't feel satisfied with it. I agree. I totally agree with that. I've been dealing with that sort of, back and forth within myself, within my demons, as so we say, because I didn't want to accept the fact. I'm very stubborn, actually. When I do something, I'll go in and I'm not gonna stop doing it until I'm doing it. And I guess it's between that and not doing progressively good is where landed me on a rock, in which I couldn't get as far as I should be. And the reason I'm saying this is because I've been dealing with this since I started my new job. Yeah, for almost 5-6 years, 5-ish, something like that. I've been dealing with this from within. I haven't told anybody. I talked about it a few episodes, but only vaguely. I'm actually expressing myself even more. And those are just some problems that some artists deal with in today's world. Like, they don't talk about it and they just bottle up. And then before you know it, that bottle continues to fill in until all of a sudden you can't handle it anymore. That's why I said myself, like, you know what? I'm not gonna stress this anymore. Like, I'm not really feeling it. I don't feel like making music again. It's not making me happy. It feels like a real job. Although some musicians can say otherwise. It's like, well, that's your job, right? To be a musician, to be producing music. Yeah, but I want to be happy about it. What comes first, money or happiness? Because in my head, happiness comes first. If I'm happy of doing what I'm doing, hey, by all means. But if I'm not happy, why am I doing this? Like, it doesn't make sense. So that's why I'm openly saying, like, I'm happy of not doing music for the time being because I'm not feeling it. I'm not enjoying it as I used to. A month ago or so, my homies Modestep, shout out to you guys, Josh and Pat, released a sample pack on Splice, and I downloaded some of the stuff. And boy, oh boy, it was fucking good. Like, I heard some of his stuff, and it's just like, man, I remember I can actually take this sample, resample it, and use Portal and do some other crazy shit, and blah, 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 blah. And that moment, that got me back into making music again. And I was doing a song. I took some of Josh's vocals and phrases and made it into a song. Will it ever come out? Maybe one of these days. Sure. I was so pumped because it's like, damn, it's been a while since I've been this happy. But it all thanks for me talking openly and admitting, say, like, I'm done with music. I'm generally done with making music. Like, that's not my goal anymore. That's not my priorities. It didn't make me happy, so I stopped. And boy, it felt good. It feels so good. But at the same time, since I'm an audio tech guy, I needed something to fulfill me, something that actually, drives me, push me an edge, give me a carrot stick or something. And that's where podcasting got me into. And looking back, when I started making music and started how heavily I was and how invested I was back then, and how invested I am now with podcasting, I am more invested and happy on making this podcast show and making these podcasts and talking about all this sort of stuff than I ever was when I was making music. Straight up, guys. And it's okay to admit these sort of stuff. It's okay to let it all out. It's okay if you just talk about it, and have somebody to listen to it. It's okay. I'm happy. I'm 10 times happier right now than I ever was when I started making songs. I kid you not. Once in a while, I'll open up a session, and continue working with it and then just stop, because that's how I felt like. It was like, I'm good. I did 30 minutes of work. I'm good. Let me go on with my life. And it's okay, guys. It's literally okay to talk about these sort of stuff. If you don't want to talk about it to someone, then use the microphone. Pull out your expressions. Say what you want to say, Or if you talk musically, then say it with your music, So we can listen to you. We can hear you. The reason why I'm talking about this, besides of me reflecting of what I've done and all the achievement that I've done so far with this and how I'm proud of talking about this sort of stuff, is that last week, I believe so, that by the time I'm recording, by the time this episode is out, it will over be almost 2 weeks ago, a DJ from the EDM world passed away. It was very unfortunate. I've never heard his music though, I will say this, but I've seen his name a couple of times and I've heard nothing but great things from him. He was known as Io. His real name is Garrett Lockhart. He passed away 2 weeks ago, and rest in peace to Garrett Lockhart, man. He passed away 2 weeks ago, Io. His death is still unruled. Nobody knows what was the cause of death, but many have speculated that it was due to some mental health issues. And people are, and those are just speculations. There hasn't been a concrete truth, whether it's real or not. But people have taken a screenshots of his Instagram a week before his demise, and he just posted saying, "Do you ever question your life?" Now, when artists post stuff like that, it is there that you should actually hit them up. If you're a friend of the artist, like, call them, talk to them, check them out, say, "Hey man, you good, man? You good? All good in the hood, man? What's up?" Because I've heard, I haven't checked his Instagram if it's true or not, but I believe that either his team or himself, he deleted that caption, that post itself. Yeah, like, and then a week later, his demise. So one can speculate that it's because of that he took his own life off, and it's very sad to hear that. I mean, it's very sad to speculate, which might be the case. It might be it. I'm not saying it is, because they haven't ruled it out, and it's for a good reason probably. It's same thing with what happened to Avicii, man. Rest in peace to Avicii, man. Tim Berg. He actually was one of my idols when I started up. And he was dealing with his demons as well. Who would have thought that, some of these musicians that make such beautiful music, you will never expect to have these sort of problems. Like, they're all happy music. That's what they do, happy music. And everybody surrounding them, they say they're amazing people, talented, beautiful souls and whatnot. and yet they took their own lives away. And the people ask us, like, why? What happened? Like, how? Like, this guy had so much promising. Like, this guy, it's those questions, that you stand back and you're like, man, why? What happened? Seriously. Most of them is just because, they be dealing some demons and they never had a way to let it all out. And that's very sad. Because I'm pretty sure some of the friends speculated that something was wrong and they tried to help them. But sometimes they avoid it. I think what it is just like, because this is based on my experience as well, even though I never reached that far of taking my own life, but I have been on that dark corner in which I've been trying to battle my own demons. The way one thinks is that you're in a deep hole and you don't want to worry. You don't want to make your friends and family worry about you because you don't want them to have that burden. You try to avoid them, and to avoid them, that's where the depression goes stronger and stronger, and then it goes down to a rabbit hole in which you can't get out. And then these sort of things happen. Just like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. Shout out to Linkin Park, one of my favorite bands of all time. It's Blink-182, Pendulum, and Linkin Park. And Linkin Park is my all-time favorite because I grew up with them. Like their first album, the Hybrid Theory album, I was in the 6th grade. So obviously. And it's the same thing. Everybody says that this guy was the happiest person ever. Like everybody surrounded him. He was happy. He had his family, his kids, like all joy and everything. And then he took his own life. And it's sad. It's very sad and unfortunate to be talking about this in these sort of episodes. But we need to talk about it. This is the whole point, because if we don't talk about these sort of things, we're just bottling it up or just make it like, just pass it along or whatever. It's not that serious. We got other bigger issues to deal with. No, this is a big issue. That's why we need to talk about it. We need to check up our friends. We need to talk to our friends or our families or whoever you trust to. And let them know what's up. Let them know. It's like, hey, man, like I've been feeling like this, and that. Just let them know. Because the more you bottle it up, the more you seclude yourself and kick everybody out of your life so they don't have to share and feel your pain, the more the pain grows. And then you're going to let the pain overcome you. It didn't happen to me because I was surrounded by great people. And if it wasn't for my family and my friends, I don't know what could have happened, to be honest. And even so, I did acknowledge what was the problem. And when I did acknowledge what was the problem, I man up, I admit it, and then I took away the problem. I removed it from my life. And from then on, I just move on and just be better about myself. To this day, I haven't told this type of story to anybody. A few episodes here and there, a few family friends, they know about it. You've heard about it on a few episodes. I'm open to talk about it. Like, I don't mind. If you're somebody that you're struggling from within and want to talk about, hey, hit me up. Follow me at Wolves and Music. DM me on Instagram. Hit me up on Twitter. DM me on Facebook, or I don't know what other social medias, to be honest. Those are just hit me up, guys. Just let's talk, all right? Who knows, man? Because it is kind of sad to hear this sort of stuff, but we need to address the situation. We need to address it. He was probably, Ayo, we're going back to Ayo. He was probably very unhappy with what he's doing. What many people say that he was happy with making music, I'm pretty sure he was unhappy making music. I'm pretty sure the touring was killing him. And to cope it up, he had to no, I'm not gonna even speculate. I'm not gonna even put it out there. But sometimes alcohol tends to ease the pain a little bit. Maybe he had alcohol problems. I don't know. Maybe he had drug problems. I don't know. I can't say that those are the reasons why. Like, no. All I can say is, that it's terrible. And it proves to show you that, it can happen to anybody. Could it be me? It could be you. It could be your friend. Anybody. That's why it's always important to talk about mental health. And it's always important to talk about those who are near you. Always check them out. It's been a very grim Thanksgiving, to be honest, because Jesus, in 1 week of Thanksgiving, the soccer player Diego Maradona, who's a worldwide Argentinian soccer, passed away as well from a heart for cardiac arrest. But that one, you know what? I will talk about it because a cardiac arrest and you're at the age of 60 and you're like, but what's that got to do with mental health and everything? Well, for what I've seen, for what I've heard, this guy basically like drinks, smokes, and snorts drugs like there's no tomorrow. Like this guy is the definition of party till the very end. He didn't die of drug overdose or alcohol or any of that, but it may have contributed for later because I know he struggled with substance abuse and addiction even when he was playing soccer. So that means that there was something wrong, something was happening with him that it wasn't fulfilling. So he had to take drugs and party and whatnot to cope off for that. And that's another issue, Like I said earlier, alcohol does tend to ease your pain and drugs as well. I've never done drugs in my life, only weed, and that's pretty much it. But I've seen people, do this sort of shit. And one can ask is like, there's something wrong with you. Something's up that because normally you would have never taken it. Why would you? A regular human being with common sense will not go ahead and will not snort some cocaine or take some drugs and whatnot just because of the thrill of it, just because of, partying, YOLO, bullshit, crap, Molly every day, and Percocet and Xanax and shit. Like, it's because something inside you is killing you. Something inside you is destroying you until a point in which, your body can't take it. And you're just like, no, this is what happened. He didn't kill himself, but I feel like the abused substance and partying and smoking did not help with it. And then a few days ago or a week ago, but by the time this episode is, out, the Star Wars actor who plays Darth Vader passed away at 85, which is Dave Prowse. Now, before any of you guys come at me with Star Wars shit, before any of you guys come at me saying like, what are you talking about? The actor who does Darth Vader is James Earl Jones. Like, what is wrong with you? And it's like, let me correct you guys. For those of you who are not Star Wars fans or don't know anything about the series, let me enlighten you. Because I'm about to school you. James Earl Jones is on every Star Wars movies, TV series, animated movies, video games, and whatnot as a voice actor. The actual actor who put in the suit and acted on the Star Wars movies was somebody else. James Earl Jones, what he did is just voice acted. That's what he does. As a Darth Vader, he's a voice actor of Darth Vader. Nobody can take that away from him. No chance in hell. The guy who put on the suit on the movies was actually someone else called Dave Prowse. And the reason why they casted him, it's because of his physique. Because they love James Earl Jones for the voice, but his physical body wasn't up suited for the suit. But they got somebody who really was the suit, and they just basically like, oh, let's give this guy the costume, and give James Earl Jones the voice, and boom, mash. This happens all the time. Many movies. Like someone else does the voice acting while someone else acts on it. It's very normal. It's not abnormal at all. But he was, regardless, he was still part of the Star Wars, franchise. 85, that's insane, and he was into shape according to many people. Totally unrelated to for mental health and whatnot. But I mean, it was a very grim Thanksgiving because, like, damn, you got so many important people dying in all in the span of 1 week. Rest in peace to all these people. Dave Prowse, rest in peace. Diego Maradona, rest in peace. And Garrett Lockhart, also known as Io, rest in peace. I hope that your souls are in a better place. But yeah, all a week, and it's been a tough year for everybody. It's been a very rough year. As I'm looking into the article that's talking about Garrett Lockhart, like if you listen to some of his songs, it definitely reflects depression and anxiety and some of the shit that he was dealing with. And that's a way how artists tend to tell their truth through their music. As I'm listening to Linkin Park, even to the old music of Linkin Park, I was listening to all the lyrics, like analyzing it, I kind of understand what Chester Bennington, rest in peace for him, was going through. Even his last song, which was like, whoa, it blew up. It was a very poppy song, very future bassy, but nevertheless, it was still good. And his last song, it was heavy. If you listen to the lyrics, you can tell that something was wrong with Chester, and we ignored it. Sometimes music talks to us, speaks to us, and we kind of ignore it. Because, the lyrics, you sing it, you don't analyze it when you're listening to music. Not many people do. They just like, oh my God, it's catchy, it's awesome. Let me put it out in my playlist. That's pretty much it. But people like me and others that really analyze to lyrics and listen to it, yeah, it sucks. The more specific in my head, which explores mental health with depression and anxiety. And there's many more. As I'm reading this this article that I'm reading right now, like there has been many other songs and nobody noticed it until, it's too late. So yeah. We're gonna wrap this up with this episode. I'm sorry guys that it's one of those grim episodes, but you know what? It's an episode that it's a must. We must talk about mental health. It is something very important. Not many people talk about it. Not many people are freely good to talk about it because they themselves, they think that, we don't want to spread the negativity to others. We're going to try to be as positive as possible, but that's what's harming us even more because the more we hide about our problems, the worse it gets. So if you ever feel like you need to talk to somebody, hey guys, I'm all here. Talk to me. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. Talk to your friends. Talk to your real friends. The real people that they will listen to you and maybe they can guide you a little bit. Maybe they can give you a fresh perspective out of it. Maybe they can help seek help for you. Your real friends. Or if your family will always be there no matter what. If you don't have a good relationship to your family, your friends, or wherever, talk to someone. Just be brave about it. It's okay. It's not a shame. I'll tell you that right now. It's not a shame. Talk to somebody. Talking is the best medicine ever. Coming from someone who's doing a podcast show about learning and sharing my experience, and letting out the truth, letting out the everything that I've been holding up for this long. It's healthy. It feels good. So guys, talk to somebody. Don't feel alone, okay, guys? And I hope that this episode, brightens up a little bit and gives you a little bit more faith about yourself and have the courage to like, all right, I'm going to do it. Let me talk to somebody before it's too late, And also, guys, if you guys got friends that you feel something is off and they may need your help, check them out. Ask them, hey, do whatever, okay? Just give them a call or text, whatever it is, man, before it's too late, you know? So, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this episode. Those are my final thoughts. My recommendations, like if you're feeling something, hit me up, guys. Hit me up if you want to talk about it. If not, talk to your friends, talk to your families, talk to somebody, you know. And if you have a friend or a family member or know somebody that's going through this, or you feel like something is off, go talk to them, check them out, you know. Be the person to help to save a life, you know. Save themselves from their mental struggle that they be dealing. Okay, guys? So thank you guys for tuning in. And just remember, every week it's a brand new episode with a brand new topic. So be sure to like and subscribe for your weekly episodes of the Lone Wolv Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. And you can also check my YouTube channel at lonewolfpod.com. That's lonewolfpod.com. Comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts, share your experience. Tell me what you guys think about it. If you guys have a topic that you want me to discuss, hit me up and let me know. If you guys want to talk to me, hit me up at my social medias at Wolvson Music. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one.